Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to talk about Ghalta. Last night I was able to go to my local LGS. Shout out to Mind Games in Selmer, Tennessee. To Brian, the owner operator there. He is an amazing guy, runs a great shop. Anyway, was able to play in a sealed event at midnight and opened up Ghalta here and rode him all the way to victory. So it was the only one of the legendaries I got last night, but hey, let's do it. Okay, so what I love the most about Ghalta is the fact that it changes how you think about deck building. Normally, I occupy a certain number of slots in the deck with ramp, be it artifact mana or in green, especially to go and land fetch or things like that. Uh, storm decks, whatever. But this guy, he just flat out tells you that a mana is worth a power. So, doing things like that, it made me play with cards I wouldn't normally play with. Rogue Elephant is a dark ritual. Yes, it costs you a forest. I don't care. It's 1 mana for 3 mana because it's going to reduce Ghalta's cost by 3, which is pretty much the same card they did years later in Scythe Tiger. And now we have Old Growth Dries, which actually it's arguably worse because everybody gets to land fetch, but you know what? In our format, whatever. Also, I've got Nettle Sentinel. I mean, we're playing mono green, so it's not going to not untab, you know what I'm saying? And then Magus of the Vineyard. He's a 1 mana 1/1. During every player's turn, they get 2 green mana. It used to be amazing back when Mana Burn existed, but when they couldn't use 2 specific green, they would just take the damage. And anyway, so started looking for things like the Elvish Mystic and the Llanowar Elves of the world, because those are, yes, they're 1 mana 1/1s, so that automatically is going to knock off a mana for Ghalta, but they also tap for mana. Boreal Druid, pretty much the same thing. I am running the Drover of the Mighty. Now, granted, this is a 2 for 2, if you will, but if you control another dinosaur, he's a little bigger. I've got a few more dinosaurs besides Ghalta, but Talara's Battalion is not going to be a problem casting it, and it does have that beautiful, beautiful trample word. 2 mana, 4 power, so this is going to help the cause. Garrick's Companion, there's nothing special there, same thing. I love the Chandler Initiate because by the time that you get, if you get him early, by the time you get the counters off, he'll be the 3 power. So, and he help you ramp out your other stuff. Also running a Lupin prototype because 2 for 5 don't seem bad. Kind of put it in perspective. Would you pay Seething Song if it only costs 2? Right? And then Thornwell Archer. This has this is more about the utility than the actual rate. It's a 2 for 2. Does have that death touch, which is going to come in handy later. As far as the rate here, 3 for 2 is not that great, but it takes the slot of the Naturalize. I mean, I'm out of the deck. Dungrove Elder is going to be ridiculous in a mono green deck because you're always going to have at least 3. More times than not, you're just going to have, you're going to spend the 3 mana and he's going to be like an 8. Dungrove Elder can get you there by himself. Leatherback Baloth, 3 for 4. Now, this guy's really neat. He lets you, this is pure ramp it with Ghalta. Playing additional lands, the Ascend, whatever, it's EDH. That's happening. And then it's 3 for 5. Here again, the Thrashing is also another spot for your Naturalize. Let's see what we got here. Emperor Crocodile is 4 for 5. Yes, I know it's not an amazing card. By the way, at one point in time it was. Also 4 for 5, we have the Juggernaut, Knight of the Stampede. Because this says Ghalta costs 4 or less. So that makes it... by the way, I got a couple of these last night as well. It was beautiful. Dauntless Dowerbark is another one of those that's just going to be ridiculously large. Ripjaw Raptor, 4 for 4, and it has a little bit of card draw, which is something that we need because, quite frankly, our card draw consists of the Ripjaw Raptor, Harmonize, Rite of Flourishing, and of course that helps everybody. Lifecrafter's Bestiary, and Smuggler's Copter. Yes, that's right, Smuggler's Copter. Because Smuggler's Copter comes down on turn 2, for 2 mana, and then you can crew it with one of your little whatever, and you instantly have 3 power if you got to get that jump over. And keep in mind, you still got the power for whatever you crewed with it. So if you crewed it with your Lanoir or whatever, you just turn 1 into 4. And you've also got the looting aspect of the copter. Kind of had to do this guy. He does make the dinosaurs bigger. If you're sitting on dead draws and you can't draw anything, you can just start pumping out green dinosaur tokens, which is never bad. The Majestic Myriarch, twice the number of your dudes. That's big in a deck that has a whole lot of dudes. Now, Reverent Hunter is my, I'll say my devotion card because I can't get my hands on a Ronus right now. Ronus is actually what we need. Ronus is going to break Ghalta in half in Standard. I mean, I firmly believe it. I love it. But for 3 mana here, you're just about always going to get a 3 power out of it. At least. Now, Lister Poppard is going to keep us from that blue deck from getting out of control with us. Spectral Force is a card that hadn't seen love in a long, long time. 5 for 8 and trample. Yeah, it's like every other turn if you don't hit somebody who's playing black, but that's fine. Elvish Ranger, 3 power or 3 mana 4 power. Verdant Sun Avatar. We're going to be playing some creatures here. So, Wolfbriar Elemental is, of course, one of the great mana dumps. You just, Wolfbriar can get you there single-handedly. Terastodon is 8 for 9 is not really why that's in here. We play Terastodon because it's removal. It is. I mean, that's why we do it. Now, before I show you the next creature, Gaze Anthem. Yeah, I mean, it's a green deck. It's a good card. It helps out all your dudes. But think about it. If you've got 3 dudes on the board and you play the Gas Anthem, you just essentially got 3 more mana off of your general. And the more creatures you have, the better discount that you have. And so with that in mind, I also did the Paragon, because it's kind of the same thing. And for 1 more mana, you get another 2/2 body, which is another 2 mana off of Ghalta. Last night in Sealed, I was playing Ghalta early. So it's a very potentially good abuse. So these 2 cards add Add +1 to all your dudes. So, yeah, Force of Savagery was one of those joke cards in Future Sight. You know, they wrote a bunch of checks they don't ever have to cash if they don't want to. But Force of Savagery is amazing if you've already got that Anthem effect out there. And in that case, it's just 3 mana for 9 power. Acidic Slime is also in there for removal. And why are we not focusing? Well, let me see if I can. Bam, there we go. Now, let's look at Pump, because Pump matters too. A Giant Growth is a Dark Ritual for that turn. It just, I mean, you spent 1 mana, your creature gets +3, so you got a bigger dude, and your Ghalta's cheaper. And hey, you know, just in case you just happen to draw it after you cast Ghalta, that's not really a problem either. Much the same as Might of Oaks for the big boy. Because this is going to get you there. 2 Ghalta, or if you already have Ghalta, I mean, this cranks him up to what, 19? Wow. Heroic Intervention is a card that I'm actively looking for the deck because I don't have anymore because it's an amazing damn card. And let's see here. Rancor. It's cheap. It's recursive. You can give trample to things that don't normally have it. Increasing Savagery. 5 counters, 5 power for 4 mana. Seems good. Now, to hit that 7 on the flashback, you're probably already going to have your general out by then. So, you know, putting 10 counters on Ghalta seems pretty good. Hedron Matrix. Converted mana cost of Ghalta. Yeah, that's right. It's 12. The Stonewood Invocation is the closest thing to the green counterspell that we've got in the deck. But just can't be the target. Split second. They can't do nothing about it. And it gets +5. Of course, we got to have our overrun. Now, I am running this particular Nissa. You untap creatures and lands. It does have the +5, which is, you know, if you're trying to cast Ghalta, yeah, but here again, you're at 7 mana, so you're probably already there. But the top 10 cards, yeah, and just dumping them, that's pretty sweet. Now, Savalas Charge, it's 5 mana. You've got to get 2 elephants out of it in order to make it any real progress here. So you've got to get 2. If you get 3, it's rainbows and sunshine. Now it's each player, so you could conceivably get the 4, or you know, more if your game has more than that. Let's look at just some good old-fashioned utility here for a second. I do have the Moss Diamond, the Emerald Medallion, and the Weatherseed Totem. I like the Weatherseed Totem for this particular deck because you can have a dude if you need to. And it is a tree folk, and that matters for, you know, a few of the other cards. Back to nature. We don't have a lot of enchantments, got a few, but the black decks, man, the black enchantments are so powerful. We've got to have an answer for them. Of course, I have the Krosan Grip and the Beast Within. Seasons Past. Let's look at Ronus. Ronus Monument. It does let you, I mean, it reduces your cost to everything. And then when you cast a creature, which we have a ton of, a creature is going to get +2/+2 and trample. There's that trample. I love me some trample. Now, strength of the pack is money in the bank. 6 mana. Here again, you've got to have 3 creatures in order to make this worth your while. More than likely, you're having way more than that. Triumph of the Horde. I mean, I kind of have to because it just ends games quickly sometimes. And there is a certain inevitability with a mono green deck that you have to come out balling fast. And if not, then that slow control deck is just going to get you. So this is almost a necessary evil. Now, all that trample, though, the best way to abuse that trample is, of course, Death Touch. Having all your things have trample and Death Touch is a very unique interaction, by the way, for the way that works, just in case you don't know. Trample says you must assign lethal damage to the defending creature before any tramples over to the player. Now, Death Touch says all your damage is lethal. So if I have a 5/5 and you have a 5/5 and mine has trample and Death Touch and I attack, you block, I can deal 1 damage to your 5/5 blocker. It will kill it and I can trample over you for 4. Now that's not very intuitive. I get it, but it is a quirky way. And ever since that has come about, I'm not exactly sure what rules edition that was. Was it M10, 10th edition? I'm not sure. But it was a while back. Since then, I don't believe they've ever made a creature with naturally both Death Touch and Trample. I love it. Love the interaction. It's great. Oh, I'll take it back. I do have some card draw in the Arch. The Arch is not amazing, but slow game, draw some cards, got some mana, not do anything else with it. It works. Well, that is what I have got. I do appreciate y'all watching. We're going to keep going. I'm almost done with the Tali and got to get a Azor. May take a break and finish up Carrie Zev. I don't know. But as I said, I do appreciate you watching. And I'm not sure if y'all know or not, but YouTube has made a change to their, I guess, their algorithm with whatever monetization. And no longer, I mean, in about a month, we're going to lose. Probably it's going to affect about 95% of folks on YouTube, but it gets fixed with things like subscriptions and likes and stuff like that and shares. But anyway, I do appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.